The world around us, even the entire universe, is made up of only two major components. The first component is called matter, and the second component is called energy. Now, in our previous videos, we have learned about what energy is. And in this video, we will learn about what is matter. Now, matter has two properties. Matter, simply put, is any substance that you see around you. But all the substances that are around you should have two properties or two characteristics. Number one, all matter occupies some space. Now look around in your room. Your room has a certain amount of space. Now this room is full of many articles, many substances. One of those articles is you yourself. Now, are you occupying some space in the room? You definitely are. And that's why you may be matter. Now, why am I saying you may be matter? Because you are only qualifying the first property, which is matter occupies space. So look around you, look at all the objects that are occupying some space. All of these substances that are occupying space can be matter. Now, even the air in your room is occupying space. Whatever space it is getting, it is occupying. There is air everywhere in your room, and that's why air can also be matter. Now, the second property of matter. We'll go to the second property of matter, but before that, let us look at these two images. In the first image, we can see there is a pot, a boiling pan, which is occupying some space in the kitchen. Also, you can see steam coming out of it because some water is being boiled inside. So this steam is also occupying some space inside the room. Now, both the pot and the steam can be matter. In the second image, we can see balloons. Now, these balloons in a room are occupying some space. They can be matter. What about the air inside the balloon? Is the air occupying some space inside the balloon? Yes. The air is occupying space inside the balloon, and that's why the air molecules can also be matter. Now let us look at the second property, if, which is present in all of these articles that we just spoke about. If that property is also present in all of these articles, then these articles are matter. The second property of matter is that matter is made up of atoms. Now, what is an atom? Now, atoms, let us first of all learn what an atom is. An atom is an uncuttable substance. Atom actually means, the meaning of this word atom is uncuttable, something that cannot be broken down. Now, atoms are the smallest particles that make anything. In order to understand that, let us consider that we have a piece of, let us take a piece of rock. Let me draw a piece of rock here. Let's say this is a piece of rock, okay, a three-dimensional rock. And I take a hammer and I strike this rock and I break it down and I get a large number of small pieces. Now I take any one of the piece and I use my hammer on this piece and make even smaller particles. And then I use my hammer again on one of these particles and I start breaking this particle. Now, when I break it, it will become so tiny that it will become invisible to our eyes, right? And then that invisible particle I put under a very powerful microscope. I see it under a microscope and then I break it by looking at that tiniest particle under the microscope. And then I break that particle and I get very small particles, which if I try to break, will not break. These extremely tiny particles, which cannot be further broken down by application of force, are called atoms. Your body is made up of millions and millions and millions of atoms. And so is the number of atoms present in the air. There are like zillions and zillions of atoms present in the room in which you are sitting. So there are a huge number of atoms around. And all matter is made up of atoms. Now, any substance that possesses two properties. Number one, if a substance occupies space, and number two, if a substance is made up of atoms, then that substance is called matter. And remember, the entire universe is made up of two components only, matter and energy. I will see you in the next video where we'll see how big an atom is.